All right, so before I do my decals, what I want to do is get my Elevons squared away, because some of my decals are actually going to go onto the Elevons for what I've got planned here today. So to make that match as good as possible, I'm going to go ahead and get this done. So I've got these squared away. So what I want is a nice in line with the direction of the airplane cut across this side of the Elevon. So I've used my mat here, which is nice to line up my handy dandy line with the nose and the tail on one of these lines, so I can simply put my Elevon in there, and then I know with a nice sharp razor that I'm coming to this line right here. So I can make that, or what I'll even do is mark it. Then use my straight edge. As vertical as possible. Make sure you're using a new razor, or a very sharp one at least, which means it's probably new. And there we have it. So now we've got a line that's perfectly square with the direction the wing's going. All right, now I'm gonna take a little bit longer ruler, grab my 2-foot, and keeping my wing centered where it was. Gonna center this, and now gonna figure out where the end of this thing is. So I'm gonna be using a 7-inch prop on here. That being the case, I need 8 inches of total clearance, which will give me a 1/2 inch on each end, which means I need to go 4 inches from center in each direction. And so that means I'm gonna meet up with the wing right around there and there. And again, everything's still nice and square. So if that's where my wing or surface needs to go, I'm then going to take my missing pencil. Yep, which means I need to recenter this. All right, got to reset entirely because I misplaced a pencil. All right, and then with this end, I know I'm going to start my cut here. You know, you can do different things. You can come back and kind of square it off at the end. It's good to get rid of this sharp corner. So I would have obtuse angles here for if you decide to cartwheel or something like that. What I'm going to do is actually flip it upside down. So let's say the surface got flexed so freaking hard that it maybe broke the servo arm and got flipped all the way forward, then there would still be clearance for the wingtip that I'm going to put on here if I do it like this. So that's why I cut it like this. Well, that's how I get my angle anyway. So now I'm on a roll until I misplace my razor. And it's kind of hard to remember which end is the inside and which one's the outside, so I will mark this. But everything's looking just like it should. Okay, so I'm going to mark this one left on the outside here, just with a pencil lightly. I know so I'll know which one it is. It's real handy, especially if you're making a bunch of these, because from here I've got a template to make as many as I want. So I'm going to use this for my right hand side just by making sure I place this over here right so that the two beveled edges are coming together, and that'll give me a mirror image on the other side. Man, let's test these out. Maybe I got it. Yep. All right, feeling good about that. So this was my left one. See, I've already gotten them confused. This is my right one. Let's just measure this all up one more time. Make sure we really like what we've got here. Bam, bam. Oop. And you know what, man? I'm glad I did this because I have definitely cut this a little bit long. So I'm going to remove. Missed my mark on that one. There it is. I guess it wasn't dark enough. Glad I checked. It would have still worked. I still would have had a clearance for the prop, but I'd rather have a little bit more, just in case things get a little wily back there and the prop starts moving in spaces it was not intended to be. I'll have a little bit more chance of not having to repair those manatee type looking scars in my Elevons. All right. Now we are much closer to the clearance we're looking for. Everything's square. I cut off my mark, so let me make sure I know this one is left. And then if I know which one of them is, I know which one the other one is, so I'm not even going to bother marking it. The only one I need to pin on here for graphics is going to be the left side. So grab some T-pins. Try not to pierce my shot cord, which actually is, you'll know when you hit it if you use the same shot cord I did. You would have to try very hard to go through it if you hit it. And some of these might actually be in my way. I'm going to move this outboard a little bit. And this one outboard a little bit. All right, so now I'm ready for decals. When you're choosing your decals, what you want to keep in mind if you're building a night flyer specifically and you're pointing the lights up into the bottom, doesn't matter if they're solid or color changing lights, is orientation. So a lot of people, when they think orientation, the first thing they think is they want those red and greens on the tips. That's from experience. People seem to really like that. I think that's good to have, but it's only secondary to knowing what top and bottom are. Then I'll worry about left and right if my brain still has computing power to get there. But top and bottom is most important. So make sure that you contrast the top from the bottom. If you use your packing tape, it's very translucent. So if you have white lights under here, you can color up the top by using the packing tape, and it'll shine right through and be whatever color the packing tape is. If you use the color changing lights, those colors are going to change depending on whatever pattern or whatever you have underneath here. And then on the bottom, what I like to do is actually block light out. So no matter what colors I've got going on top, the top is mostly lit up, and then I will typically make 2 dark stripes. Let me grab an example. Across the bottom, something like this. Maybe I do 4, maybe I do 3, but I'm using tape that's going to block the light out so that I can easily tell top from bottom. On these, I have put the solid 12 volt green and reds on the tips for traditional nav lights. It's just a nice add, but you don't have to have that. You could go with straight colors and not worry about the added time and trouble of making this. By just making sure that top and bottom are right? You just need to know if you're going to push or pull to get out of trouble. So on the bottom, I'm going to use, you can use that black packing tape if you've got it. But one thing that blocks out even more light is a thin black duct tape. 3M makes this one, grabbed it at Lowe's, I'm sure. And so I'm going to use that for my stripes on this one. Before I do that though, to make sure this sticks really well, I'm going to go with some spray adhesive on both sides. Oh, I need to attach this as well so I get my black over there too. So I thought I could get away with one, and you know, par for the course. End up doing a little bit more work. Than what was expected. But no worries. Just an easy step to take to, and I can put these anywhere because I'm not going on the top. Just an easy step to take to get your build looking as clean as possible. When we're doing our decorating. All right, so now I'm ready to put spray adhesive, do the bottom, then spray adhesive and do the top. And for the top, I printed off a decal. I think I got this graphic from Adobe Stock, just a membership there if you're printing off lots of stickers and stuff. Printed it off on a inkjet printer with glossy sticker paper, the clear kind, so that all you'll see will be just the colorful part of the sticker. I'm going to probably put it somewhere around here. And then I'm thinking, so I would do some red stripes, but I'm about out of red over there. Maybe I've got enough to get this done. All right, so yeah, that's what we're going to do. It's good to get all this planned out ahead of time. Don't mean to waste your time sitting here trying to figure it out. But yeah, we'll do a couple stripes here and that on there, black stripes on the bottom. Time for some spray. Go. All right, so got a little bit of spray adhesive on there. Now we're doing the bottom. This doesn't have to be real scientific. Obviously, let your creative juices flow at this point in the build. I'm going to do something like this. Got a little bit of excess off the front. I'm actually going to leave that there. Until I get all of it done on this side. Make sure you use a fresh razor for this, or you will have scraggles off the end of this tape. And you don't want scragglings. So what do you think? Another one? All right. So let's say we're going to call it good with 3, which we are. I'm going to get it all nice and matted down. And then using my knife or blade and my straight edge, I'm trying not to hit that other over here. That'll work. Get it to where I can hold it. Get it where I want it, right on the leading edge. And then cut all 3 of them at one time so that I get a nice straight line there. Try not to go any deeper than I have to. I do have extreme tape under here. But then, even if I do get into that a little bit, I am going to laminate back over top of it, which is another reason I like to do this step now instead of after lamination. Gonna try to get this one as close to where I did that guy as possible. It's about there. To line up the angle, I was actually just using the filament off the extreme tape that I put across the leading edge. Just a tiny bit of overlap to make sure you get that little gap there. This stuff will block the light really well. Make sure you have your best chance at night for knowing up from down. And if you're getting a Rebel, like the one I'm building here, chances are you like to spend a lot of time upside down. Because if you didn't, I would say get an Assassin. But if you spend half your flight or more upside down, get a Rebel. Nice sharp edges. Ready for the top. Time to make sure it's clean. Get all the crap off of it. A little more spray adhesive and we'll do the top. Right, so got a healthy dose of spray adhesive where we're going to put our decals, decorations for the top. Oh no. Oh dude. Oh dude. This might be ruined. Okay. Well, thankfully, I've got a backup. Beware. Damn, I've got to do this now. Never bother a man when he's working with adhesives. I'm going to be a little more careful this time. Ooh, it still wants to curl. Gotcha. Well, start in the middle and work your way up. And that sucker is on. Looks good too, really pops, smacks you in the face. Kind of reminds me of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. No pun intended, huh? All right, so little red and blue. I think I'm gonna do, I could do it that way or this way. I'm gonna do it this way. I think this is out of where I'm gonna put my servos. Should be. So just like the bottom, being real careful of wrinkles, leave the excess on the top, come all the way down your control surface. Grab your ever missing razor. And I'm gonna put one there. I think I'm gonna go with the red next. Just something simple and quick. It does some cool things when the colors start changing on these lights. Just be red and blue if you use solid white, which is a great place to start. And then I think I'm going to do one more blue. Oh, nice wrinkle. Be gone. There you go. Shazam! Oh, it doesn't look bad. All right. I'm using some Spectrum Avian Smart Electronics in this. Oh, messed that one up. So I'm going to brand it up. Let people know what they're working with. Bam. One thing I've noticed about these, if you do 3D print this motor mount, there is a definitive top and bottom. I have I can feel a ridge in one side and it's pretty flat on the other. So making sure that ridge goes up top. Oh yeah, nice and snug as she should be. Everything's looking good. And oh, still need a straight line across here. Putting as much in my hand as I can. And I can see that black from below. Hopefully I line those up perfectly together. I doubt it. Pretty close. All right, and this stuff will stick down here now that all that's been done. I'm gonna take my X-Acto, getting this hinge. Oh man, I don't even think I might try from the other side here. Get this guy first. Boy. That was scary. That was super scary. Bam. And now I'll have a definitive left and right as well, because just eyeballing that stuff. And the colors, they are distinctly different. Now, so I think the next step is lamination.